What's up, fellas? Now today, this is gonna be a pretty lengthy video. But you know, as always, first I gotta shout out our album of the week. This week we're going to be listening to Ectoplasmic Receptacles. This is a noise compilation. Noise, experimental, shit like that. It's honestly my first noise tape I ever bought, so I'm pretty psyched about it. But today, we are going to be discussing war metal. Okay? Now, there are some misconceptions about war metal. I mean, some even I, before I was well versed in it, I thought, oh, war metal, you mean like Sodom and Bolt Thrower, that talk about war. But no, it's a literal genre. I didn't see it as a genre at first. I thought it was just, Viking metal or pagan metal, just a theme. But there's actually something sonically different between war metal and other subgenres of metal. The way I put war metal is the perfect combination of death metal, black metal, and grindcore. I mean, some people want to call, Blasphemy, for example. They want to call Blasphemy black and death metal. But Blasphemy sounds nothing like other black and death metal bands, They have that. I think the main thing that sets them apart is the grind aspect, because usually war metal is just a fuckface of blast beats and buzzsaw riffs. Now today I'm going to be showing some tapes and CDs and records of mine that are war metal. I mean, when I first started getting into it, I liked it ironically. I thought that, more of a gimmick, but now I actually genuinely enjoy war metal. Let's start off in the beginning. Now, some people might not agree with this, but I think the proto-war metal album is Mayhem's Death Crush. I mean, and my reasoning for this is that, they set up the sound and the aesthetics. Red and black album art with some disturbing photographs or drawings, and it's just the lo-fi, rattly, this thing is full of blast beats. I feel like that a lot of war metal bands draw lots of influence from only specifically the Death Crush era of Mayhem. But yeah, for sure. But the biggest and the baddest war metal band that, of course, we all know of is Blasphemy. Now, go ahead and laugh at me for getting the white version, but the white version at the time was way less expensive than the typical black version. But this is the Bible, this is the textbook, this is the formula, this is the blueprint for all war metal. But yeah, they're legends. I mean, their music is so abrasive and chaotic, but yet the riffs are so catchy. My favorite song off here, Ritual. I mean, I get these riffs stuck in my head all the time, This comes on a white vinyl, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, Blasphemy with Fallen Angel of Doom. And speaking of Blasphemy, got another thing from them. Got their other album, Gods of War, on cassette. Some sick shit. I don't think it's as good as Fallen Angel of Doom, but this is still some damn good war metal. And next up is my favorite war metal band, at least what started out as my favorite war metal band. This is Proto Revenge, so you might know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Conqueror. Conqueror, they formed in the early 90s but didn't release anything till the late 90s. Specifically this, War Cult Supremacy. I mean, me and my bandmate, we cream ourselves over Conqueror all the fucking time. I listen to this album like every time I get a chance, like if I'm off work or something. But yeah, it's just pre-Revenge. We'll talk about Revenge in a second. But yeah, even Death Grips are fans of War Metal and Conqueror. I know there's a picture somewhere on the internet of MC Ride wearing a Revenge shirt. But yeah, good old Conqueror, just straight up blast beats and frantic vocals and just pure hatred. And then we got my favorite War Metal album of all time, which is Revenge's Behold Total Rejection. This was actually, Revenge was the first War Metal band I got into. So that's kind of why I have a bias for them. But this album, I mean, the production makes it sound nothing like their previous works, which, again, we'll get to in a second. But yeah, this is the first, like, at the time when I discovered Revenge, I thought, this was, like, the end-all, be-all. Like, nothing can get more intense and savage than Behold Total Rejection. And I mean, we're gonna talk about a few that I think live up to it, but it's still a big shoe to fill, Now let's talk a little more about Revenge. I also have Infiltration, Downfall, Death on cassette. Now, like I said in my Battle Jacket video, this isn't my favorite Revenge album, but it's my favorite Revenge album artwork. I'd totally get this tattooed somewhere if it wasn't so goddamn edgy. People would think of it the wrong way. Now we're gonna get into some more classic stuff. I think anyone who knows their War Metal knows Goat Penis. I mean, it's so hard to listen to this shit, like, objectively without laughing your ass off. But yeah, this band is called Goat Penis. They're relatively big in the War Metal scene. This is a great album. I like to spin this when I'm feeling angry and nihilistic and want to destroy the world. Now we're gonna go on to some more obscure shit. Well, first off, before that, I need to touch up on good old Black Witchery with Desecration of the Holy Kingdom. Actually, funny story is I met my bandmate at a Enslaved show earlier this year, and he spotted me because I was wearing a Black Witchery shirt. And he was wearing a shirt of the Archgoat and Satanic Warmaster split, which I own on vinyl, which will pop up in some video soon. I mean, speaking of Archgoat, I don't really have much of them. I don't have anything physical from them, except their new album that came out a few days ago that I had pre-ordered, but the vinyl hasn't arrived yet. But yeah, Black Witchery, I mean, you can call it blasphemy worship, but I still think it's fucking killer. Desecration of the Holy Kingdom. Now to some more obscure shit. Oh wait, what do we got over here? Oh, I forgot to show, I also have Behold Total Rejection on cassette. This was actually the first cassette I've ever bought, ever. And it's fucking orgasmic. And then one last classic, and I swear I'm done with the classics. We got Bestial Warlust with Vengeance War Till Death. I also have this on CD. I want to get it on vinyl eventually. But yeah, just some more killer bestial, as the name suggests. War metal. Had to cop the cassette of it. Now we're going on to the obscure shit. This is off. I talked about this production company in earlier videos. Dunkelheit Production. It's like all German shit. but this is Goat Blood. Goat Blood, I'd say they lean more on the death metal side when it comes to war metal, but still, it's just savage, you know, shred your throat open kind of shit. I got a poster of this artwork in my bathroom. If I ever do an apartment tour, I might see that in there. Now, this is a newer release. I believe it came out this year. This is, I can't pronounce this that well. Hezrarch, I'm assuming it's in a different language. Again, this kind of teeters more on the death metal side. Got it on a slick ruby red. But yeah, it's some sick shit. Got a fucking tank right there, you know it's war metal when there's tanks involved. But yeah, Death Ordinance. Got some people shanking each other right there. It's fucking amazing shit. Now this album, I can't get enough of this album. I believe it came out this year actually, and this is also from Dunkelheit Production. This is Kapala with Infest Cesspool. This is a war metal band that's more on the punk side, more on the grindcore aspect. Comes on a really sick disc. You got the normal side, and then you got this etched cockroach with barbed wire around it. But yeah, Kapala, man. I got a poster, there's right there, that came with this album. But this is just like the perfect blend of, like, there's lots of noise elements to this too, you know? Like, really noisy, abrasive, like, grit in your ears, claws on a chalkboard kind of shit, which I'm into for some reason. But yeah, Kapala, Infest Cesspool. Now it's time for an album that was already mentioned in one of these videos. It was an album of the week last year. And we got Sacrilegious Rite with Summoned from Beyond. This is more on the black metal spectrum, I think, when it comes to war metal. This is more traditional, like, I don't know where they're from, but it has a really Scandinavian sound. Heavy on the bestial stuff, you know, with the barks and growls and shit like that. But yeah, it's an amazing listen. I'd highly recommend it. And another thing from Dunkelheit Production is the goat semen / anal vomit split. Now, the more war metal side is goat semen. I'd probably consider them more bestial black metal. Anal vomit, I'd say, is just straight up brutal death metal. But this split is damn good. I mean, you know, it's something to put on while you're mowing the lawn or something, you know. Yeah, goat semen and anal vomit, you know, two of the coolest band names in the world. Now, to finish this sucker off is, so far, my number 2 favorite release of this year. And that is Subduer with Death Monolith. This is only an EP, it's only 4 songs long, but it's so fucking good. This is really high on the noise factor. I mean, really, you know, like I described before, sandpaper rubbing on sandpaper. It's just, it'll just fucking melt your ears. My favorite album of the year so far is a war metal band, but I don't have any physicals of it because they haven't made any physicals of it yet. But it's my friend's band Vorherschaft. God damn it, John, whenever you get up distribution for that shit, you gotta hit me up. The album I'm talking about, I'll link it in the description, is his one-man war metal band called Vorherschaft with albums called Oath of Conquest. It's like, seriously, top tier war metal, some of the best shit I've ever heard. I'm not going off that tangent. we got Subduer, Death Monolith. This would be number 2 or number 3. Number 2 might be Portal's Ion, but by the end of the year I'll make a list. But yeah, I mean, I do have some other war metal albums, but these are just my favorites that I wanted to go through. Well, that's it. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and wow!